Should be good. Hello everyone. We had a little technology hiccup, but I think we are good now. Not if you want to press that knows how to handle a webcam. Alright, so where are we at? We're here. So, hi Brayden, or Dan. Here's what we have. We're changing stuff a little bit. I'm gonna zoom in here. So we've been doing some thinking on the game, and we wanted to have it so that it was gonna be how would you say? Like a moving out thing, where you have like all the physics exploding and you can pick up any item and swing them with your friends and do all that fun stuff. But we were starting to run into issues where it was getting a little, I'm not gonna say buggy because buggy can fix it, but it just wasn't fun. We were just grabbing stuff, moving it was moving in weird directions. It was putting too many limitations on what we wanted on the level design, so we are approaching it in a different way, which is what I'm going to work on today. So this is what we have right now. It just moves around. Characters are all temporary, and we're going to redo them later. It runs, it jumps, it goes upstairs, it goes downstairs. It doesn't make the stuff in front of the camera disappear yet, but we'll work on that a little later. Like we'll have to hide how many floors, like the floors that are up there and all that stuff, so that you know you can't find yourself in that crappy situation of a camera. So, what we also have with this is we can already grab and move stuff. Oh, nope. First bug is we need to have this thing here be player and limb, sorry. Player and limb. There we go, player and limb. And the music we're listening to is Wild Aaron's Hot soundtrack. So it moves around, but it's a little buggy, so that's what we're gonna fix now. First is this thing here. It's a little high up. We want it like in front at 1. But it's more this thing here that we want. So this thing, we don't want it that high. 425, thank you. Right? I have to name the songs. Yeah, it's hard. I only have one of them. I have the Red Jam, because that's been what most people who play the game have been calling it. It's the Red Jam. But the tracks are there. Tracks are pretty good. I mean, I love the tracks. Why are we so high up? So we need this thing. Has to be a little bit more on the side. Also, it's very much crooked. Zero. Zero. There's a little bit of an issue in that this thing here isn't very here the do move is kind of crappy, which I think I want to remove and just make it here like that. And this thing we're gonna make it a spring joint with a pretty strong force. Cool. Like 1,000, I think. 5,000. And the damper, we'll make it 20 for now. And this, we want the connected anchor. We want this to be joint to grab. The connected anchor. That's interesting. I think it's probably also that we want this to not be using gravity anymore. So that yes, it flies around a little bit, but it's a little bit more just like easier to grab and move around. We also wanted to keep the rotation straight. Somewhat straight at least. And this thing, which is also here, if I don't have the player link to it, cannot always move around. Whoa, that is a little too much. Nope. Here. That's the issue with the spring joint, is that it constantly moves and rotates around you, which is very annoying. joint, and there's also character joint and hinge joint. Wonder if we don't need. I could try the hinge joint. Let me go back to the spring fixed joint for now, and then let me go in here. And just play around with some of the components that we have at our disposition. So that is, first off, we're gonna go here. That's pretty much where we want to grab it at first, and we're gonna want to add like a character joint, configurable. I'll just add a configurable joint for now. It's this body, and now let's see, edit angle limits. Yeah, it's pretty configurable. Very configurable. X motion is free, limited, locked. Wow. Okay. I need to get someone smarter to explain all the what all of that means to me. Configurable joint. So a configurable joint has all this behavior. Okay. Connected body anchor. This point which defines the center of the joint. All physics-based simulation use this point as the center in calculation. Okay. So axis, the local axis that defines the object's natural rotation based on physics simulation. So let me add a configurable joint here. There we go. Then limits. First off, the connected body is going to be this guy over here, as usual. Okay. You can see it rotates over there. Not sure why, but it does. So it needs to be pretty much okay. X motion connected anchor secondary axis. So for this guy it would be like point, like 325, something like that, or 0.4, and negative 0.5. That would be the anchor for him. And the axis, so it's Y up. So the axis on something like this is going to be, oops. The axis on something like this is probably going to be 1 in this sense and 0 here, like we had before. So yeah, rotating around the Y like that, around the X. Okay, X motion, angular X motion. Limited probably. There we go. And now we can kind of figure out all the motion that it gives. So in the Y we want to be limited to kind of if we locked on the Y? So you can't rotate in the Y, and you can rotate a little bit on the Z-axis. You can rotate like pretty much not at all, or all the time. Pretty much not at all. It's on the X-axis that you're gonna want to be able to rotate. Nope, it's around the character, so it's on the Y-axis. The X is locked, the Y and the Z are limited, and the Y, actually the Y is pretty much free. Yeah, games are hard, and like, so this one gives me access to all the different little things. There's a bunch of other joints that I can do, like spring. This one, there's less of them. So like, this is preset, but since we want to do something pretty custom, we have to use that crazy thing. And target position, target velocity. It sounds pretty self-explanatory, but it's not. Linear limit spring. Applies a spring force to pull the object back when it goes past the limit position. The spring force sets a limit on the joint's linear movement. Move over distance rather than rotation. Specified at a distance from the joint origin. Distance from the joint. Distance tolerance between the joint position. Wait, did I skip a bunch of stuff? No, it's up there. It's a tough one. Like, deep tooth. It's, I would say like a 5. Most of the game design skills are pretty. Like you can like you can apply them on 3D or 2D pretty easily, but it's so I'm doing gameplay, right? I'm doing gameplay and programming, so that's still the same thing. I add an extra axis, but it's not like, you know, like the physics is still like the conventions are still the same. It's not like I have to relearn a bunch of stuff. I already know all that math, but there is more to test. The characters or the world is a little bit more complicated to create. It's not like pixel art is a lot of hand-drawn stuff, but it's not like it's, you know, yeah, it takes a long time, but it's easier is not the right word, but it's kind of, you know, once you get into a groove, you can cram them a little bit faster than I think we're going to be able to do on this project. Like on this project, we're going to be a little slower coming up with art, coming up with designs for levels, coming up with all that stuff. Not because it's hard, but because we have like more to consider that we hadn't thought of. Like when you look at 2D, you have more constraints, which like in 3D you have kind of like the player can do more stuff, which means there's more for us to consider and take into account and to test, I think. So far that's mainly be the thing. Like when I feel like I'm getting there with a certain mechanic, it becomes like I know I'm not, like when I feel like I'm getting there, I test something else and I see another problem, which is game dev, but in 2D it was a little easier to tackle every little thing that could happen, because again, only 2 directions. Yeah, you do. My background, my very professional game dev background. It works well. I like it too. It's very soft. Alright, so here what we're doing, angular Z, angular Y, linear limit spring, and linear spring. That's what it was. Limit, bouncing at contact distance. No, spring and damper. What does it not move? Huh. Where is it going? That's the question. It's going behind me. Is it because of that? Or is it because of that? Oh. Okay, not what I had planned. 0 and 0. Okay, at least now we're... It's a little bit crazy, but it you know... I've seen worse. So it's those guys here, limited, limited, limited. Okay, and if I do locked in the Y, does that mean if I can, no, I can still jump. Oh, you know what, is I think locked means you can't move as much. And so like, for example, if you lock it in the Y, yeah, it's not gonna move more. Okay, see, that's not what we wanted, but okay. So my question is, what does limited stand for in the X motion? Oh. Not good. Not good. There we go. What does limited stand for? So what I'm considering is here, like, what is free? Free. What is here the target rotation on the X? Okay, on the Y, it's 90 degrees. Alright, so that's like, it tries to go towards kind of like a 90 degrees angle thing. Then X drive, X and Z, Y drive. I think in Y, the Y motion, we're gonna lock it so that it's always, you kind of like have it there. And we're gonna lock all those as well, just to test, but okay. And then the X drive position spring, position damper. Does that mean if it's free? Oh, alright, I get it. Okay. We're getting there, somewhere, somehow. Let's make it 0 here. Let's make it 0 here. Just so that we figure some stuff. In X, the X is going to be around us. Huh. Weird. Weird. Secondary axis. I think it's 0, 1 here, right? to do 105 maximum force. That's pretty much infinity, and use acceleration. No, don't use acceleration. And here we do the same thing, 105. Okay, target rotation, we're gonna leave it to 0 as well. Rotation drive mode, slurp. In that case, what does slurp do? This specifies how the drive torques rotates the joint around all local axis. The property is only available if the rotation drive mode is set to slurp. See slurp drive section below. The spring torque, spring damper, okay, projection mode. This defines how the joints snap back to its constraint when it accidentally moves beyond them, because the physics engine is unable to reconcile the current combination of forces within the simulation. Projection distance is 2.5. This is the position, rotation, and the angle. We don't want to be more than 90 degrees, I think. Configure it in workspace. Masca, connect Masca, okay. Ah, that's the section we wanted. So, locked axis restrict all movements the joint cannot move. Limited axis allows free between predefined limits, as explained below. Allows any movement. You can limit translation or movement using the linear limit property. At the maximum distance the joint can move from its point of origin, x-axis, z-axis, limit distance, and that's free. So the joint can move anywhere here, but can't move past this stuff. By default, the joint stops moving when it runs into its limits. However, an inelastic collision like this is rare in the real world, so it is useful to add some feeling of bounce to a constrained joint. We don't want bounce in our stuff. We don't want many bounce. We want no spring. That's a little too. So it does this and collides back, which is not good. But that's because we want the contact distance. We want the spring to be a little higher here. Whoa. Alright, that's a little much. What is going on? Whoa, I flew. Okay. Let me deactivate this guy here. Limb and player, we don't want any of that. It moves fine without it. I think I want to store this joint here. Never destroy it. It can be dangerous. So let's me anchor. This goes, we want it slightly lower at 0.4. I want it slightly in. See, that's the issue here, is that the Z is going to be left, right. Can I do, what if I do swap bodies? No, it's not this one. I'm going to want it here, and then a little bit here. Negative 0.25 and 0.25. So that's pretty much like in front of us, right? Maybe a little bit more to the Y. Not exactly sure why it moves like this when you move it to the Y. What I don't really understand is it moves because it is going close to the limit of the motion here, which is this one, I think. Which the reason why I'm not understanding why it's moving like that. Okay, let me restart from scratch a little bit. Okay, so this is just free everywhere. But if I add a spring, does it come back to me? Is that the question? 5. Looks like it's trying to. We thought it was negative 3.4, negative 3. Okay, and then here we want to just if we have it locked, it works pretty well. Definitely run into it, but that's a problem for another time. Wow, where did it go? Okay. All right, so let's do it now a different way. I'm going to put the configurable joint here so that we can configure it directly in here without having to worry about all this stuff down there. being too complicated and annoying. So we're gonna do that. Then in here, we don't want to add the joint, right? This last hand joint thing here, joint and last hand joint. We don't want to get rid of it ever. So what we're gonna do is that we are going to just name it hinge joint. The hand joint here. And the awake function, we're gonna set that hinge joint to be the hand anchor. The joint component on the head anchor, hand anchor. And then down there in the grab, we are setting, we are going to do the this thing here, where we're just going to do these two things. No, these 4 things here. We can definitely remove that. We can put that here, and here we're gonna put a hand joint equal no. Nope, dot connected body equal no. Otherwise, we're gonna create more problems for us than anything. So hand joint here, 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 and here. Joint to grab, joint to grab, joint to grab. Great. That works a little bit better for us. And I still want to kind of not be able to, I want to be able to not do that stuff. So that we can keep the physics engine working correctly. Alright, so we're gonna have this here. It's a configurable joint. There's no connected body. We don't have any connected anchor. This is just always false. We actually just, I don't think we need to do that here, but we'll just do it just in case. But this is always false. We have said it was limited. It was locked here. It was limited. This was also gonna be limited, limited, limited. And when we play with those, where are they? Here. We are going to be moving just not at all on the Z, honestly, because we don't need it. We could be moving a little bit on the y-axis, just and a little bit up and down. And Z, I think we're just gonna lock it, honestly. So that if we have it like this, it's just gonna be moving normally around the target. And I think here we want swap bodies, which will make it that I think usually you're supposed to be able to give me no. Okay. Alright, we have grabbed it, but we are not correctly moving it around. So now the question is which settings is incorrectly. This is this 0.4, negative 0.3, negative 0.3 here. Yeah, this is looking like it. That's what it was. It should be limited on here, I think, too. Or should just be locked. Locked. And locked. So you're forced to kind of have it motionless to spring to 100, 1050 in that case. Alright, it's working. It's moving. It's jumping. But it's a little crappy in how it responds to us. I don't think I really want it to be kind of worried. What's making it move like that? Let me just deactivate this thing here. Now it's doing that, which is also not good. Yeah, but now it just has like a weird physics to it. So I kind of just want to remove it. It's not in the ground. That's good. I want to remove this too, so that we're not skipping around. We're going to place it back here, and then we are going to hold it on tight. Because it should also be limp. There we go, that's what is happening. Okay, we don't need player. That's just pushing us. Then what we just need to do is go in this drag node thing, move this connected anchor to be negative 0.3. Sorry, negative 0.3. Negative 0.3 here, 0.4 here. Okay, then limit it, limited motion. Sorry, locked here. What if it's free here? Can still move it. Oh, okay, so it's like, and if I do swap bodies, is this gonna be? I think that is not what I was hoping for. The x-axis is moving like that, so that means okay. Alright, we're back to being something that works decently well. Now the question is, how do you make it move? It's limited on here. Okay. Wiggles intensely. That's because the motions are free too. No, everything should be limited. Okay. Well, let me go back here. This, we wanted 0.3, 0.4, and negative 0.3 here. Is this a rat jam? No, this is the Irish jig. It's a song you can find in the when you go dancing with the instruments in While the Iron's Hot. It's a secret song. Why am I all the way down there? Alright, fine. He wants to keep us over there. We're gonna lock it on the... I'm just gonna lock all three of them. And we're gonna play it one at a time. Are you doing what's your split today? Just left? Or push or pull? Hey, look at that. It's working pretty well. We're moving really slowly though, so we're gonna just make sure the speed divider is just divided by 3. Not much more. And alright. Alright, it moves. It jumps. Goes around corners. And you can't run into stuff, but it does act weirdly towards everything else. Is that because no? Should be just fine. I'm not really understanding. Bottom right there. Whoa. What's going on there? Okay, we're not going to touch the projection stuff. That's dangerous. The rotation mode, maybe we'll slurp it. Nope, that's horrible too. I'm going to leave it to X and Z. Join, false. Hi, Posey. Hi. Come here. Come here. Come. Hi. Hi, little girl. How's it going? What are you looking at? Hi. You want to come with me? Do you want to just stay here for a little bit? Look, I got your bowl here. Where are you going? No, no, no. Not on the desk. There you go. Alright. Sorry, that was an interruption by one of my dogs. Let's see, positive, okay, drive, an X and Y drive. The spring used to reach the target. Target position, target velocity. You know, I don't think we need that stuff here. I don't think we need to do a rotation and wait a quarter of a second. I think we'll just do everything through the joint and call it a day. And then after we're done here, because I keep working on that issue without doing much else. Once I'm done with this, I want to make sure we have it so that first off here we want to ignore the limbs but not the player. That's how we're going to keep it for right now. And then we'll test out how that goes. If Unity hasn't crashed, but it's looking like it has. Oh man. Oh, we're back. Great, it hasn't crashed. Alright. So, we're gonna keep it limited everywhere like that. Oh, that's where it crashes. There. We're coming back. It's coming. Oop. Oh, and it went back up over there. I'm coming back down here. No. No, I could do it, yeah. What do I have here? Wait a minute. Wait. Add. I don't want to add a photo album. I just want to add one photo. Nope, not dynamic. No pictures, not pictures. Colors, not colors. Auto rotate. I have no idea why it's not letting me choose a photo. Why do you change your wallpaper to a photo? Am I just blind? I don't think I have one that's great. Whoa. I think it's that one. There. Are you ready? Ooh, that's bad. That's horrible. That's horrible. Alright. We're just gonna keep that one. No wallpaper for today. Yeah, I clicked on it and it attacked my eyes. I don't understand why, because this monitor is 1920 and this other photo I had was only like, oh, you know what? I know why. Let me try again. I'm gonna remove this one. I think it's because it's final that I want, and it's this one. And now if I go in here and if I took this one, there we go. Look at that. It's a little aggressive, but it will work. I just want to make sure I don't have this set for my regular one. There we go. Now I have Wild Earn's Hut on down here. Yeah. It's a cool concept art. I really like it. Don't know if it makes for a great wallpaper, but I think it's a cool concept art. And then here we were at the point where we could, before it crashed, move around and grab things. And then when you grab things, it just moves around in front of you. It does do a little wobble that I don't particularly love. And I wonder why it does that. It's a wobble on the y-axis. You know what? I have a feeling it's because we made Y not locked. I was not expecting that to happen. This is game dev. Am I crazy? We had Y as locked, what, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. So why did it do something so crazy? If it's just supposed to be limited. See, every time you change it, it goes just bonkers. If it's supposed to be limited, we're gonna just limit it. And we're gonna make sure the angular limit for Y is just very low. It's just gonna be like a 2 or something. 3, there you go, the absolute minimum. Now the question is, why does it do that? if we don't hold the player, it goes like this. I have a feeling it's because it didn't save that. It did. What? Then why does it do that when it wasn't doing that? Because of that effect. That's what it is. Yeah. I think we didn't have the right axis on this thing. Alright, and then on this, we're gonna want a 3. Let's make it a 5. Not 53. Angular YZ, limit spring, target position, all that stuff should be good. Let's try it out. Yeah, it's still not good. It's still not good, even though it was good before. That's the fun of it. Hello. All right. Doesn't work great. I'm not sure why it's so much on the side like this. No, stop, stop. My God. It's so weird. This thing makes absolutely no sense to me. Just gonna lock everything for now. Alright, and when we're here, we lock it. Yeah, if there's no rotation, it works nice. Obviously, there's no rotation. So like that, it works fine. And then if we move this, we wanted this to be like a 2 or something like that. But we don't. I think I want to rename them because I don't like this name. And this I want it between 1 and 10. Because more and it's annoying. And then we want to call it alright. That should make it look better in here too, but it's because we have this issue now where we want it just to be divided by carrying speed modifier. There is no heavy or light object. We just, if we're carrying an object, we're moving it by that amount. Ah, you know what? It's divided by 0 now. Yep. Or by 1. There we go. Wait, it's dividing it by 2? What, isn't it like 10 before? Why am I going so fast? We'll just do it 3.25. Now the issue is when we run into walls, it creates this weird behavior where it kind of clashes against everything. At this point, how to fix this, I'm not sure. So, how are we gonna do this? First off, it's just snapping kind of like all over the place, which is just really frustrating. And I really just kind of want those to be limited, but not have it locked. I'm not sure if it's on the y-axis like this. Why it rotates in such a weird circle like that. Rotates in the x-axis. Nope. It should so it should be just limited everywhere. And then I think in here it's limited down. So that's an issue. We don't want y to be pointing. We want y to be pointing on the ground. So not up like that. So it should be 1 on the z here, I think. Yes. That does look better. This, I don't know why it's doing that. So there's y on the sound. So y is flat, x is vertical, z is lateral. Right? So not like that. That should not happen. It should be oh boy. There we go. Should just be that. Like that. Still weirdly inclined. Which I'm not sure why. They're all supposed to be free. I mean, they're all supposed to be just flat. So they're flat like this. They're just flat. Still not good though. It should be, the first axis is this one, the second axis is this one. This one. Nope. This is try and error for me. Should be this one. There we go. No. That's not what it should be. That's what it should be. should look like that. And then I don't know what the secondary axis is. I would just make them both equal for now. And then now we bring back the limited stuff, where it's just going to be limited everywhere. The z-axis is going to limit it, kind of. Alright. So the x is going to be... Wait. I thought it was supposed to be back to... This is x, right? Yeah. The x-axis, I think we're just gonna have a very slight up and down movement. The z-axis, we can probably go fine like that. And the y-axis, we're gonna keep it just slightly like that. Now we'll see how it kind of works out, and if it works out by itself or not. The issue we're having that we fixed in scene and we didn't fix up here is that we're dividing by 1. The reason it divided equal by 1 force assign attempt input is negative infinity. Oh, that's probably because it thinks it's 1 but it's 0. No, it should be 3 here. That's what we want. We want a 3. And then after this work, we're gonna do it so that it's a little bit, we're gonna, okay. No. It doesn't work. And it doesn't work because it's the Z. The Z was too big, I think. Also, why does it keep having this weird like blubbery effect? It's because it's just always this object material. That's not really what we want, is it? We want it so that it's just slightly off the ground, which means it should be fine when we walk into it. All right, we're holding it. We can move around. We can hit stuff. We don't really want to get pushed back though. We don't really want to do this, because now we're in a peculiar position. Okay. I really think we just want to log the rotation, honestly. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal for us. I think for the feeling that we want to have, we're going to want to keep the location kind of locked so that it behaves more like how we're expecting it to behave. But we just pick it up and it stays like that. Game dev is not a fun job sometimes. I'm a little silent right now because this just doesn't feel fun to me. It's not because it's bugged out. I mean, it is bugged out, and I could fix it. That's like one issue. It's bugged, and we should fix it. But it's not just that. There's also a weird thing where it just doesn't feel good to play like that. It doesn't feel good. It's just not. Super fast here, but so this is kind of like how our environment is going to look for quite a long time. The character is going to switch pretty quickly, but this is just a template dungeon that we use to test things out. And I'm just going to change, because we've been on this drag and drop kind of feature for a long time, and sometimes game development and work is knowing how to pivot. So another idea that we had that I think I'm gonna kind of try to explain and figure out later, and I'm gonna try to do it by doing a UI. So the idea is that we have our character, and the basis of our game is that you grab stuff in the dungeons, then you bring it outside, and then you convert it out. Kind of like a Lethal Company. That's the loop. Basically, the loop is light-hearted, funny Lethal Company. If we watch a little bit of Lethal Company gameplay to illustrate my point. Videos. Lethal Company gameplay. This is what I like doing when I'm looking for inspiration. Because we don't want to do a moving out clone, and if we tackle it the way we're tackling it right now, it's gonna look like a moving out clone, which is just not fun. So we had another idea, but first I want to kind of consider a little bit about how these guys are doing it. Close your eyes if you don't want to see the ad, and you can open back up. Which is now they're carrying it with them, like he's carrying something with them. You know, like that's the loop that we want to have, is like one person is carrying some stuff, dealing with, you know, there's tools you're following. That's more of the things we want. But then we want to have, like, you know, there's a monster that shows up. yeah, that's the indie style for games, the horror game. Unclear instruction and closed eyes, and it looks like a horror game. No, but yeah, it's just we want it to be more chaotic and less careful. So it's not like you grab something and you bring it back to the middle. You want to like go into the dungeons, and then you find some stuff, you throw it back, you grab it, you run back out, then you find a monster, and then you have, you know, a bunch of stuff on you, but you don't have any weapons. All you have is what you carry when you go in. They're adventurers, but they're not good adventurers. This is the premise of our game, basically. And we want to put those, you know, we would rather, I'm a much better AI programmer than I am physics programmer, by far. Physics is hard, and I kind of skipped through most classes in high school and college. This is high school physics mostly that we're doing for me, like in France. That was high school physics for like these things. But regardless, like, it's just I was never very good at physics. So let's pivot a little bit. And the other option that we had for our movements and our physics and our chaoticness, which is I'm going to try it now because it feels more fun than what I'm trying to come up with right now, and we're already February 12th. And so, with all my run up to this, is to have something where you kind of grab it, run to, you kind of grab, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought at the same time as I'm thinking how I'm going to do it. But the inventory system is going to be a little weird and part of our combat mechanic, I would say. So instead of, right now the logic was you grab it and whatever you are holding, you have. The second plan is that you have kind of a bag with a certain amount of slots, like 10 slots or whatever. It's a bag like a kangaroo patch and all there inside, doesn't really matter. You go around the dungeons, you take up items and you put them in your bag. And then the other, so that's like your first option, is grabbing items, putting them in the bag. And then the way you use those items is by kind of pulling them out of your hut and being able to throw them. So you pick up an object, you put it in your thing. On the screen it shows you which one is the object that's on the top of the pile. And then you can select that object to hold back and then try to throw it if you want. That's where we're at. And we're gonna try to do that. So figuring out how to do that, we're gonna want, first off, sorry, this is our grab stuff, which is just a little weird. I'm gonna do another region, which is gonna be like the new grab for now. And in there I'm gonna put the stuff we need. So first we're gonna do our header. It's gonna be basically our inventory. In that first header, we're gonna want a size of our inventory, right? So it's gonna be like an int inventory size. It's not gonna be a grid. This is just the, let's call it carry capacity. That's the amount of item that you can carry. And we're gonna make it a float. And we're gonna make it the actual mass of stuff that you carry. I feel like that's a good thing. Carry capacity is your amount of mass. And then we'll make threshold of like how you move maybe. So like threshold of how you move, that'd be like, you know, we're gonna want something that is you're encumbered but you can still move, so we're gonna call it the encumbered threshold, and it's gonna be a percentage between 0 and 1. So that it's supposed to be parentheses, yeah. And it's like, we'll say like, or if you have, you know, 75% of your max carry capacity, then, you know, like if you have, this is full, you can't carry more. And if you have this, you're encumbered, you move slowly, but you can still carry some more stuff. Then we're gonna want, maybe not a serialized field, we just want a queue of rigid body or whatever. For now it's just gonna be rigid body, and this is gonna be like the you know, items picked up queue. It's self-explanatory, it's a queue. It's the items picked up. Then we want a button. So I'm gonna go in here. This is how we set up our buttons. So we have, you know, the movements tied to our keyboard. We have space to jump. We have shift to crouch, and then we have our grab. Our grab, I'm gonna change it to a different buttons like G, so that we can still do it without having this tied, just for test. We don't want to like completely kill it yet. And then we're gonna have a new one, which is gonna be called like main interaction, main action. No, pickup. Let's just call it pickup. This is our pickup thing, where it's going to be also just a button, and we're gonna put F because I like F as an interaction thing. We're saving this, and now in here we can go and we can do something that's gonna be called, it needs an input value, private void on pickup with an input value. This will mean that every time we is pressed, you know, if value is pressed false, we don't want to do anything, we just want to do something if the button was pressed. No, pickup button was pressed. Now we go back to the game, and in the game when I'm gonna press F, it's gonna just hold the button. It's just gonna print down there, pickup button pressed, and it only prints it when I press the button. We don't care about all the other stuff. Granted, we could do it so that there was different types of interactions, but for now I think just you press, you pick up. It's pretty simple. You press it, you pick it up. So on pickup, blah 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 blah. Okay. This. Then in our grab node, we're gonna keep it the same name, just because we're not gonna look for grabbable joint anymore. We're gonna make this. We're gonna comment this. We're gonna comment this out. All right. And we are going to do. Var. That's not what I wanted to type. So pickup object is going to be the other. It's a component that's going to be here, grabbable, just a tag, right, for now. And if we don't have a pickup object, or if our linked player dot is at max capacity, then we're gonna return. Max capacity, we don't have it yet. We're just gonna create it and implement it up there. Public bool is at max capacity if m max carry capacity is smaller or equal to. Sorry, that's kind of not what we want. I got signed because I'm gonna do it like that. But if the current carry capacity is greater or equal to the max capacity. And if we do this, we're gonna say, you know, m dot link player dot set pickup target to be the pickup object. So we're gonna start by creating a script in there called grabbable. We'll open that script, and then we create a function in here called a public function called set pickup object on a grabbable, and this we're going to tell my computer to learn this so that it doesn't bother us as much. We're gonna say grabbable m current grabbable. I'm gonna set the current grabbable to grabbable, and in here we are going to make it so that we are also, if we have no current grabbable, you know, we're gonna return pickup button was pressed, you know, and then we're gonna do current grabbable is m current grabbable. And to be fancy, we're gonna do it slightly differently than how I made it, which is that we are going to do this like that. Alright, current grabbable is m current grabbable. Okay. Set pickup target. What did I put? Set pickup object. Set pickup target's better. Great. So let's see, we're going to put it on the pot for now. On the pot, we're going to make it so that it's not going to be a portable object. It's just going to be a grabbable. That's all. Grabbable. And it should be that, you know, when I'm going to run into this object with my drag node and press F, it's going to say current grabbable is pprop pot dungeon 5. You know, I am currently not in it. Now I'm in it, and it is not typing anything. That is because the drag node is currently forgetting about anything that is not a prop, which that is supposed to be a prop. So why is that not doing this? I don't know. I think I have another dog scratching at my door. Sounded like Peppa. Was it paused? It shouldn't be paused. It should just be go, go, go. player, we have our grabbable here. And when we go into it, it's not doing anything. And the question is, why? Why is it not doing anything? So we're just going to put a little point here and see if we ever... Yeah, alright, so pickup object is... floor, no. Floor is still not good. No, 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 no. Oh, oh fuck, I had spot. No, 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 no. Okay, let's try it again. See, now it's just taking everything. It's just, I'm not really understanding why it's doing that. I literally just told it to ignore everything except the prop stuff. Now, Pod Dungeon is at max capacity is true. Why is it saying that it's at max capacity even though we have nothing? That is, I know, because we have 0 and 0, so it's going to be equal to 0. Makes sense. We're going to include everything here. We're going to exclude everything except the prop. Sorry, it's just to prop and exclude everything except the prop. Do I have to do it in the rigid body too? No. For now, I just leave it like that. Actually, let's just do that. Do that. Alright, current grabbable is P prop dungeon. And for here, current grabbable is still the P prop dungeon. Because we forgot that on the exit, on here, on trigger exit, if other dot game object is equal to m dot link player dot current grabbable, which you're not going to call current grabbable, and we're also going to make it so that it's not an object, and here it's going to be public grabbable current grabbable is going to be m current grabbable, because we just want to have this be returned dot game object. These two are true, we're going to return, otherwise we're going to do mlink player dot set pickup targets to null. And we're doing this through a function here so that later on I can turn on and off all the stuff that is like, you know, adding and removing outlines and all that. Can I grab a ball?
Game made, you've got a UI and you've got some UI elements. Let's change this one here to be a 3D object. So the first thing you need to do is go to your canvas and change it from overlay to camera. Now it's telling us we need a camera to render this canvas, so let's create a brand new camera and we'll call it canvas camera. Now on this camera, change the clear flags to depth only, change the culling mask to only render the UI, change it from perspective to orthographic. To depth only.
What? The flags. Fully mask. Update mode. Culling mask. To culling flags. Clear flags. Test will be cleared.
Change the culling mask to only render the UI.
Culling mask to only render the UI. Okay. Position.
Change it from a brand new camera. We'll call it canvas camera. Now on this camera, change the clear flags to depth only. Change the culling mask to only render the UI. Change it from perspective to orthographic. Go back to your canvas and drag in that new canvas camera. Change plane distance down to about 10. And now we can grab our camera and we can move it to the side a little bit just to keep it away. Now, so next is to change this image to a 3D object. So let's delete the image and I'll create a new empty here and I'll call it object parent. And I'll just move it in front a little bit like that. Now I've got this cube here. It's just a cube with a script on it that rotates the cube. Nothing different than just a normal cube. I'm just gonna drag that on. Just gonna zero it out to make it in the center. And now I'm going to take the object parent and I'm going to scale it all the way up until we can see it. And one more thing, your cube also needs to be on the UI layer, like that. Let's scale it out to where I want it, move it. And if you can see this, the cube is being rendered here in the background too, and that's because our main camera, we need to remove UI from the culling mask, okay? And now that should actually be it. It's gonna speed up the rotate. And there you go, a 3D object on your canvas. So if you learned something, give it a like, maybe subscribe. I'm gonna be making a lot of these quick tutorials, so stay tuned.
Alright, that was like basically just drag and drop your object into the scene. Sorry, I would never. I'm glad you're my #1 fan, Deep Toot. I was just figuring out how to do some weird stuff, but now if I bring the pot like Pod Dungeon 5, this guy here. And I drop him here. Alright. And then if I link that and I make it just way bigger. And I make it UI. I change children, don't care. Okay. Look at that. This is in a 3D object that goes here. The question is like, it looks so weird right now. Why does it not have light? Because it's on the UI of this. So this, I think if you go in here, this material there, base map, no, not like that. Render face, front, back, author clip, base map, smoothness, all that stuff we don't really want to change. Nope. Sorting priority, don't care. Okay. Cast shadows off. Change. Red probes, no. You know what? For now, I am very lazy, and we're just gonna keep it a bunch of names on the text, just to make sure it works. And I will figure that other stuff out later. At some point I want to have it so that you see it on the screen in a pretty kind of clear way. Because right now even the text is kind of crappy. But this is just to test things, so we don't need to make it pretty right now. 400, and this is going to be a content size fitter. We're going to want the minimums, the preferred size. There we go. We're going to want that on the upper center. We don't want to expand anything to this point, but we're going to make it so that it's still slightly pretty, 25, with a spacing of 25. All right. This is gonna be like where they say P prop pod dungeon 5. It's gonna look bad. It's gonna look like that right now, but really we just want to test and make sure this stuff appears correctly. I'm even gonna make it 600 just to make it have more space. And then do we want to make sure liberation? Yeah. I guess fonts choosing will be for another problem as well. Okay, picked up. All right. Also hoping we can have an event system per like player, which is also something we'll have to figure out soon, because this is supposed to be a like 4-player game. Or up to 4 locally. Okay. And the other things we're gonna want to do is to make sure we're gonna make the parent p dot parent set dot transform dot set parent, I think it is, to this dot transform, and then we're gonna set up a sequence, just a short little animation basically, of like swallowing the item, just so that it looks like something is happening, where it's just gonna be do tween dot sequence and then pick up animation dot append dot insert, sorry, at 0 we're gonna do current grabbable dot transform dot do move towards do local move, sorry, towards vector 3 dot 0 in 0.5. And then we're gonna also do pickup animation dot insert at 0, and this time we're gonna do scale to 0 in 0.5 in 0. Slightly lower, so that it's fully disappeared when we go in it. And once we are done here, we're gonna make it so that just give me 1 second while I figure a mic thing. Be right back. And I am back. Well, I was, oh wow, this camera is looking big. Can I, there we go. Well, I was looking to fix my mic issue. I found one of my miniatures. I got pulled into Warhammer by my in-law. And look at this. This is one of them. Can you see it well? I'm still painting that one, since you said you were loving weird stuff. I don't know if you can see it well. There's some edge highlight and everything on it. I still have to highlight the hair, the sword, and all that stuff. The gems. It's pretty cool, but it's taught me how to shake a little less when I paint. I've been liking doing it though. It's been a nice change of pace at the end of the night, rather than always looking for a movie or something. No screen painting. Like a true artist, maybe. No, maybe not. The modeling, I prefer the modeling over the painting though. It's just this thing where I would like the painting if it was more paint like numbers, but it does actually demand some creativity and color mixing, which I'm not great at. So what I'm suspecting is going to happen, this is going to be 1, this is going to be 0.9, so it's a little slower. That's fair. You can. This one I've started to become, this is actually my like 5th unit that I paint from scratch. Like I did 30 other models, almost 35. This is my 37th actually that I'm trying to paint. But the other ones I haven't finished. I just like kind of like get them started, then I do something, then I do something that I mess up. It annoys me and then I go on another one. Except if I actually have to play them. When I have to play them on the table, it gets a little like I have to actually get them painted, you know. Ah, fuck. This is supposed to be a new one, which we're just gonna do in the wake function because I am not. Items picked up equal new queue. So that you lose stuff when you die pretty much, but that's, we'll have to do that again at some point. Whew. Excuse me. The good thing about like 3D and 2D is, like I'm going back to a question you asked a little while longer in the stream, deep dude. But like 2D and 3D isn't that hard because, I mean, to me right now, we're also not changing engine, which is making it slightly easier because stuff like the save system, the dialogue system, the quest system, the AI system, all that stuff, I already have it like developed, and that doesn't change that well. That doesn't change that much. Look at that. It moved around, it disappeared, and in our queue, we should have something here that says it's the dungeon. That's the next thing. It looked pretty nice when we picked it up. It looked fine. And now we're just gonna wanna have a list of everything that we have. We're gonna put it up here, pick up queue. We're gonna make it what about netcode? Oh, like the yeah, like the online part, you mean? The online part is gonna be the stuff that I probably have a lot of struggles with. That's kind of why we're focusing. Yeah, the fishing nets. Maybe we'll have fishing in this game this time. We didn't have it in Wild Deer Inside. Just to prove you that netcode will make the netcode for the fishing nets. But we've had the we've had the idea of making it multiplayer, but only local co-op, which is a little more. It's a little easier on us. Because we don't have to tackle as much of the infrastructure. We're not gonna go like full multiplayer, but this game can still like be multiplayer even without it, I think, because there's the Steam online like local co-op features that lets you kind of play a game with your friend if they have it and it's local co-op. So I think the netcode is going to be a question of how complicated it's going to be. Is going to be based on how far whichever publishing partner wants to take this, basically. If any publishing partner wants to support us, hopefully that is a yes. Otherwise, there's not going to be an online because it's bad. sorry, I'm back. We were at this point where we wanted to have a text that just writes all the stuff. We're gonna make it a very, very simple script. I'm gonna call it the pickup queue, the items queue UI. The items queue UI is going to be taking into account one player, because even if it's local co-op, we're gonna want it to be tied to one player in the corner of the little cameras, and then it's gonna take into account for now just the text mesh pro GUI, and we're gonna read the test text, just because I like stuff complicated to pronounce apparently. And in the fixed update, so that doesn't, no need to do that every single frame. In the fixed update, it's going to go from after queue. I think we want to do like a peak stuff, public queue, rigid body, items picked up, that is just going to return an access to this, and in here for int I equals 0, I up to m dot link player dot items picked up dot count I plus plus. This is a like the counter of how much this is gonna be, how much kind of like stuff we do. Adult. It's gonna be pretty simple. It's gonna be items to display, and in here we're gonna do if I greater or equal than items to display. We're just gonna break out of this, and in here we're just gonna do test text. Here we flush it, and then here we go text dot text plus equal link player dot peak dot items picked up dot peak, I think, at nope, that's not what we want. We're gonna want to do try peak in case there is nothing. Try peak out rigid body. Instead of having a rigid body here, we're gonna just do a grabbable object. There's really no need to have a rigid body up in like that specific stuff. Just a lot simpler overall. right, and this should write up here every frame exactly what we want. In the await function, we're going to do test text is equal to get component in children text mesh pro Yu-Gi-Oh. Actually, we're not going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to put this under debug like that. And then here we're going to do a boolean private bool display test string. Display debug string, we're going to say. We're going to call it like this. And then here, if we do want to display that string, we're going to keep it like that. Boom. And this, no, we don't want to invert it, because what if we add something else later on? We don't want that. So we're going to we added a little comment so that this little thing wouldn't be constantly putting a green line in there. That's just my OCD. I like having, you know, stuff clear. Sorry, sometimes I zone out on other stuff. That's my ADHD. Or ADD, whatever you're self-diagnosed as. I self-diagnose as. Alright, we have it up there. Okay. And the one thing we forgot to do before we tested that was to put the script on this. This is the items queue UI. We want to display up to 3 items. We want to display the string, and this is the string we want to display as the display debug. And this one we're gonna go debug. Let's just do it like that. What's going on? What is it doing? It's not set to an instance, but oh, the link player is not set an instance too. So just for the sake of testing, we're also going to link a player to it. How was your workout, by the way? Sir Deep Toot. All right, I think it works. Yeah. We did manage to take 2 objects somehow, but that will be for another time. We'll just make it so that if the current grabbable in here is this one, let's just make it so that it's going to be here. var object to pick up is going to be the current grabbable, right? this one. Then here we're just going to replace by object to pick up, because here we're going to put the current grabbable back to null so that we don't pick it up a few times. So spamming button doesn't pick to during animation. All right. Now if I spam the button, it should work fine. Yeah, let's give it a second try, just for the sake of it. Okay, and just one more, because sometimes I don't spam fast enough, sometimes I do. Let's make sure it really works by lining up and going, and we're good. All right. So that's one thing. The second thing we want to test to make sure this is fun is to make it to make a private throw on throw, which is going to be also a value like this. We're going to link it to another button for now, but we're going to do if the value is pressed is equal to false, return. And we're also going to return if the items picked up is equal no, or if the items picked up queue is empty. Like that. If we do that, in that case, we don't care about it. The second things that we would want to do would be to set so now we want to get the very top of the pile. So like imagine you have this, you put an item in, then you grab it and you throw it. Basically that's what we want to imitate. So to grab it and throw it, it's pretty simple. Object to throw just becomes the items picked up .dq, like that. We can actually what we're gonna do to simplify stuff a bit is something I think it works is if you do try dq and it's gonna return false, right? Try dq true if object successfully removed, false if the qt is empty. So try dq out var object throw. If that is equal to false, we return, otherwise we can continue here. We continue by doing current object to throw dot scale dot transform dot scale equal vector3 dot 1. That just brings it back to the standard baseline of, you know, just one thing. And then we're gonna add object to throw. We're gonna reactivate it, right? We're gonna want to set it to true. we want to not set it as a parent of the object. We want to set it just as just no parent, and then the thing we want to do is we want to do like a force impulse so that you throw it in front of you. So it's going to be, the position we want to set is going to be equal to this dot transform dot position plus just a little bit of the forward vector, just like half, so that it's in front of us, so that it, you know, like if it went in through the side, it comes out in front. And also the rotation, we're going to keep it to the identity quaternion so that it's standing normally. We don't really care about having it all moved around. Then we activate it, and then the force that we add on this is going to be, we're going to set it in here. It's going to be a vector 3 of a throw force. Boom. And this throw force is going to be throw, you know what, we're going to do a throw vector that is going to be normalized, and then the force here, so that it's kind of simpler to adjust. And then we just multiply these two together. It's going to have the benefit of being a little simpler thing to judge in the inspector. Like if we want to scale the force to make it a lot, if we have the right inclination, we won't have to guess 3 different values every time. We'll just be able to scale the force of the, you know, throwing vector. And then we're going to do, this is going to be just an impulse, right? Force mode. But we want to ignore the mass. So it's going to be, is the impulse ignoring the mass? No, the impulse uses the mass. What is this? This does at an instant velocity change, at a continuous acceleration to its rigid body. I think we want it as a velocity change. I might be wrong though. Now this is where it explodes. Press F and then F again, and then it explodes. Or maybe it works. Before, I forgot to test, but we're going to do a simple test. The vector is going to be 1 on the Y, 1 forward, and we're going to do vector force of 10. Alright, we pick it up, and then we throw it. Oh, you know what? I forgot something. So I don't have to redo this. This is going to be 1. It's going to be 1, 1, 10. Okay, and then this, we're going to have a throw, which I think we're just going to make it like E for now. And we'll kind of play test and change stuff later on. We have it, and we throw it. Throw it. Throw it. All right, it came out. We have it again, and then we throw it. You know what? It works, but it's a little, how would you say? Weak. Okay. Where did it disappear? This might have been a little too strong. Towson is a little, you know, to be expected. I'm also gonna make it slightly higher up. We take it, we throw it. All right, and it gets thrown. And we throw it, and I threw it way too far up. I think 1 is probably a little too savage. 0.5, 25. Effective throw vector is gonna be, it's gonna be distance transform dot forward times the throw vectors times the throw force. I think that's what we want. Is that what we want? Maybe it's plus. We add the two of them together so that it's forward plus like up a little bit. In this case, we're gonna want it to be 0 here. Then we're gonna go pick it up down there, and then we're gonna throw it. All right, and throw it. Okay, where is it? Ooh, because I think here the object to throw is being enqueued at the very top here. So it could be enqueued and thrown at the same time as as it is activated and deactivated, like in the animation. So we are making the enqueue after the animation now. See, where does it go? It doesn't go anywhere. Oh, now it goes. Okay. But this table really exploded. All right. We throw it. We can kind of throw it with a pretty good. Poop. Okay. It kind of gets thrown. But does it always get thrown? No, sometimes it gets thrown in front of you. So what I don't know is why when it's like this, it gets thrown on the corner. Is that just me that think it's weird? So this should let you kind of be able to throw and aim stuff kind of normally and correctly. The goal is that like now we want to make it so that sometimes, you know, you can like throw a pot at a monster and, you know, blind the monsters for a little bit. That type of stuff. The pot breaks when it reaches the ground, makes some noise, creates some chaos, blah blah blah. Then you can have your inventory with some stuff in it. And I think that way we can kind of create a sort of chaotic dungeon where stuff is getting thrown and all that. With that said though, I have a really weird bug, I think, which I'm not sure why it's getting thrown like that. And is it because I have the Z on this here that is 1? I bet you it's because of that. Yeah, it was. It was. So now if we make this as 0.5 and we make this 100, for example, whoa, it flew up in the air. Where is it? Where is it? Here. And then it's all over there. Okay. I'm gonna double the speed, make it 0.75, 0. Alright, that's probably too high now. 0.5. 60. Maybe it doesn't need to be. Probably can be 0.125 then. See, and now it's going back to being this weird thing where it's going in the opposite direction. So it needs a couple things. The force is going to be the current velocity of this thing. So the force to add is not going to be this. Or force to add is going to be the rigid body plus the throw vector plus the plus the throw vector plus the throw vector. Sorry, and the force to add, we're going to time it by the throw force, and we're going to do force to add here. And that should add a force that is a little bit more understandable. Whoa. Whoa. That's because we're modifying it by the velocity here, which is not what we want. We want that to be modified. There. Wait. Do we? I don't think we do. What if we just made it, it's going to be multiplied by 1, which means it's essentially not doing anything. It's going to be a 25 y25. It's going to be slightly up by about a quarter. So we pick it up and then we throw it. We pick it up and then we throw it. seeds now. We throw it. It goes straight, so it's not being modified. And it has a weird thing here. So I think we do 5. Okay. And now I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research, and I think I'm gonna stop very soon. So I'm gonna go in my just chatting way while I do a couple of research on how to find the correct direction to throw. I know there's math to do somewhere, but I don't know them off the top of my head, so I just have to find them somewhere. Thank you, Google. I mean, I can just make it so that it's just the forward transform velocity. Times this dot transform dot vector done forward, like that probably. That way it's gonna No, it doesn't work. I mean, I think it almost works, but I think it's probably just super simple. It's probably just like just modify the forward transform by the force. Sorry. Yeah, it's actually pretty simple, I think. I think it's just like we want the force direction, right? Force direction is equal to this dot to transform that forward plus our throw vector, sorry, plus our original velocity, which is the velocity. Then we're gonna want to do force to add is gonna be force direction dot normalized time the throw vector, and I had forgotten the normalized. This gives us a direction, then we bring it back to this. We're gonna normalize it up here just for sake of having a direction at the end of this. This gives us a direction, then the direction we multiply it by our force, and then we actually have the force, which becomes and I don't think we want an impulse. I don't think we want a velocity change. I think we want an impulse, just so that we don't throw a pot with the same force as we'll throw like a barrel or something. But maybe we do, and in that case, we'll just change it back to, because I think add an instant force impulse using its mass. Otherwise, you would need to have done acceleration probably. But then in here it gets us to do, you know, the throw vector is 0.5 and the throw force is going to be like, you know, 10, and so the vector for which we're going to throw it is going to be like 10 units forward, or like that. Nope. That still doesn't work somehow. Is that 10 units though? Like, oh, that was like barely 3 units because we're using its mass. Let's just not use the mass for now and we'll figure it out later. I think gameplay wise, while in real life you wouldn't throw a pot the same strength as you would throw like a, I don't know, barrel. I think in the game you would want to. I think you would get confused and angry if, like, when you throw something, it was always feeling differently. That would be really annoying to me. Alright, there's another thing I want to do which is annoying me. This is going to be Why is it so weird? Alright, this is a little better, and when you jump, it goes forward. Alright. So when you jump, see, it doesn't take into account the velocity you currently have. Which is getting really annoying. Like, I'm just gonna do this. It's just gonna add the current velocity onto that force and just treat everything as a velocity change, and just that should work better. So that's with no velocity. I'm gonna just pause it just because in here we want to make sure this is 20, and I'm tired of having to change it every time. All right. This works nicely. And if I want to pick it up and then go down and then throw it, yeah, it works kind of nice. Oh, you can actually throw it. I'm gonna throw it to you. I duck him to say hi. Oh, where did it go? Wait, can I not? Wait, how did it go through this wall? What? Oh no, I didn't throw it because I have it right now. Okay. Now I don't have it and I threw it and it's through the wall. That's because I threw it when facing a wall. We don't want it to be forward times 0.5. We just want to be slightly up, I think. Rosie. Hi. Oh, you know what it does? It collides with my own thing and then threw it out. That's what it does. You know what we're gonna do? It's gonna be super simple. Instead of being this just transform position plus vector 3 up, we're just gonna make it hand anchor dot transform dot position, and that should fix our issue slightly. Just making a time to tuck away because I like having nothing clipping, so I feel like if it's just so long, I'll just remove a word so that way it's just nicely presented. And here we can do 0.5, clear it out, and that is it for today, I think. With that, what we did today is that you can go there, you can pick up an object, and then you can throw the object in crazy ways. Maybe want to do it a little less strong. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe 10 is enough for this one. You pick it up and you throw the object. What's going on with it? Is the object high or something? What the hell is it doing? That's why. That's why. Wait a minute. We don't want this anymore. And we want this now. That's what we want. And maybe we'll make the pot be 2. We'll make the pot be 2. It's a grabbable object. There's no joints. It's just a pot. And with that, it should work. You pick it up. You throw it. You pick it up. You throw it. And essentially, you kind of want to judge, like, if this is a regular room, like, would you be expecting to throw it? Like, how far do you guys think you should be able to throw this? Just like across the room? Or, because it's a pretty big room for a pretty tiny dude. If this table is this big, it's a pretty massive room. So if you're here, I feel like you want to hit at least like here. So double, basically. We want to double that speed. Which, let's go slowly. Let's do 15. Go back. So we'd expect to go here. Okay, it's a little better. Gets a little better. I think it's gonna get fixed too when we remove this collider and add the mesh collider, which I'm gonna do. So remove this one, and we're gonna add a mesh collider that is convex, provides contacts, and is like that. Okay, we're gonna remove that. So you throw it up to like here. Oh, we forgot to make it back. Let's just you know what? Let's just make it 20. Let's just do that. Let's just make it 20. A little strong. You see what I mean? Like 20 feels a little too strong even though it's double. 15 feels a little too light, so 17.5 maybe works. I feel like if you have it leave your screen, that's not great. I think we're gonna stay at 15. 15 feels to me like a nice little thing. Or maybe 17, or maybe 15 with a slightly higher angle on the y-axis so that it feels a little bit more, you know, like, yeah. And let's make that pot be 1 in the, you know, rigid body stuff. It's pretty light. So we pick it up and then we throw it. Yeah, this feels good to me. And then you throw it. It throws far. You can aim. Throw it. I had it better. I liked it better at 2 for this spot specifically. Like if you play against this and then you throw it, yeah, it works better. Granted, we really need to make it so that this doesn't, you know, work. Or the reason we do that is going to be pretty simple. In the throw, we're going to add a little, you know, var array start. We're going to add a little physics.raycast from our anchor.position minus this dot minus m anchor dot. Is it back? Forward, the opposite of forward. It's supposed to be backward, but do they have backward? Forward. I suppose it's just going to be forward times -1. The transform dot back. They have up, down, whatever. So it's for position. The length is going to be like 1. It's like if you're not facing dead on at the wall. If you're facing dead on at the wall, you're not going to want to shoot something. We'll make it 1 for now. And just tweak it later on. And then the max distance is going to be 1. And the layer mask is going to be the one that is called wall. We just want to make sure we're not going to hit a wall, basically. That we're not going to hit a wall. And that is it. Go hit wall equal up. And if hit wall, we're gonna make a little debug.log just for our own just for the sake of other people in the team who aren't coding the project but would like the information why it's not being thrown, so that we can think about how to make it known to the player that they can't throw because there's an item right in front of them. Or maybe we'll want to do it differently, where like if you throw it, just backs off behind you or something like that. And here it'd be like, you know, wall right in front of you. And return. Then we don't want to throw it. That's just this. So we pick it up. We'll go face this wall. Actually, let's go face this one. Throw it. Hey, the wall is right in front of you. And it shouldn't have thrown anything. No. So why did it? feel like it hit a wall and then it shouldn't oh, you know why? Because it dequeued here. Here it dequeued it. So we want to keep making sure that this is just a return here. Return. Then here, we're going to do, you know, if hit wall, it does something. And otherwise, we're going to do if, you know, trying to dequeue this thing. If we can't, return it. And then, if, you know, that's to me sounds like the most efficient way to go through all possible steps and not run into an issue, pretty much. All right, we can still throw. And here, we throw it fine, but if we face it like that, we don't throw it. Same here. Hey. Oh, you know what? That's, I think this, because this wall doesn't have all the colliders yet, because they were just added like last week or something. Oh no. Oh, our poor pot. All right. But yeah, this is now because of this thing here, which has a collider. You see lots of triangles. It hurts my head to see it like that. But there's a lot of triangle. And then we want the Y-shaped room. Yeah, that's a Y-shaped room. And it's the walls in the Y-shaped room. You see they have to lay a wall. But this one, what they don't have is a collider, I believe. Correct, they do not have a collider. So technically, could I just... Huh. I can't run into them. Oh, they're blocking me, but they're not blocking me. Like if I do provide contact on this stuff. I think then it will work. But yeah, I think we're gonna be stopping now because it's getting late for me, and this bug is not that it's stomping me, but it is stomping me. Let me just try this stuff. Apply to the large prefab so that what is it not? Convex. And then in here, sorry, in here, we are going to make sure it's applied to all of these guys like that, and then it should probably kind of work. Otherwise, it's probably that the ray is not hitting the wall when it should be. Yeah, I mean it works. That the fact that it doesn't kind of goes through the wall is good. Like I'd rather it do this, but this is not what I programmed, which is okay. It's all right. Still works, right? But I'm not exactly sure why it's. Oh yeah, see now it's finding the wall, but when I do it like that, it's not finding the wall. Alright, I know why it's happening like this, and you know what? It's because this goes like in the wall. Like if I'm looking at like that, right? if I'm looking at it like this, we're technically inside the wall rather than out. So rather than having the drag node, if we have this thing here, which is just a transform, is just gonna fix this issue, and we're gonna want to have the transform be like, you know, like, it's not that big. It's wait, is it only? Oh no, I was looking at the wrong one. Sorry. It's from 19 to 19.3. It's gonna be 0.5. A 0.5 distance, pretty much. Let's make it 0.75 so that we have a little bit more leeway with it. And then I think besides that, it's gonna be pretty much fine. Maybe we'll just leave it to 1 for like bigger objects. Later on, I think we'll want to make it so that it's the diameter of the object that you're holding and you're about to throw, so that you're not like half the object inside the wall before you throw it. And if it's only 1, I think there's some more edge cases that we need to try, but for now it's going to be okay like this. Pick it up, we go to our broken wall, we can't throw it, and when we face it, we can't throw it either, but if we go further back, we can. So alright, that works for me. Probably need some more testing, but you know, we can throw some stuff. We are going to do some more graphics later on when we have, you know, the fun settled. But the idea that you can just grab stuff, throw them. Tomorrow we're gonna do like grab a door, push a door, pull a door, stuff like, you know, you'll have door in the crossway that have a hinge on one side, and then pushing that door is how you're gonna be like entering and exiting that room and being able to see past it. So yeah, fun stuff in the works. For now, guys, thank you for coming and hanging out with me for a bit, and I will see you soon. Have a good one and have a good night, or whatever it is for you guys.